Region of Choice Diversity Hiring and Promotion Initiative, 130 employers voluntarily participated in the first 5-year program. Tiger Aesthetics Medical announces a $50 million plant expansion in Franklin for its silicone breast implants business. The company last year acquired the business from Sientra, which was in bankruptcy. Former Channel 12 anchorman Patrick Palantonio joins a Milwaukee corporate communications, crisis management, and public affairs firm. He's vice president at HPR Strategies with clients in retail, entertainment, and home building. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
James Imaging Systems. Local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizon, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity, payload is big, all the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser, all the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new, safe and sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 10th, our top story. 2 shot dead at a park in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad, fighting the brush fires.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Bit of building volume across the area. Northbound 43 slowing down from about Locust to Keefe. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down coming out of the stadium interchange. And then we've also got a crash on the off-ramp to Ryan Road from southbound 94. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
On our way to a high of 65 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. Tonight's low 40 degrees, mostly clear, and a little bit on the breezy side with winds gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Right now, 39 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, an outbreak of violence at Deneen Park, Milwaukee's northwest side.
A shooting investigation is underway after 2 people died and 1 person was injured. Late Sunday afternoon, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office found a 19-year-old man with gunshot injuries. He was treated at the park, then transported to a hospital where he later died. A second 19-year-old man later walked into a hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Then, in another part of Milwaukee, a 26-year-old man was found dead in a vehicle. The sheriff's office believes all 3 victims were shot at the same park. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, 16-year-old said to be in serious condition this morning after a shooting on the city's south side. This is near 14th and Dakota in the Polonia neighborhood. No one in custody.
A body recovered from Lake Michigan as Kenosha police responded to Eichelman Park. That was late Sunday afternoon. Park has since reopened, but authorities have not released the identity of the person whom they found.
Nobody hurt or property damage after a marsh fire ignites in Brookfield.
What started as a grass fire behind Soren's Ford dealership Sunday afternoon quickly grew into a fire out of control. Several homes on Chapel Hill Drive and Compton Lane, as well as the Brookfield Sports Complex and Voight Soccer Park, were all evacuated out of precaution. Officials say limited access and high winds made the blaze difficult to put out. The fire was ultimately extinguished around 6:15. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Federal agencies preparing for a Thursday deadline to submit restructuring plans that would lay off more workers. News Nation's Libby Dean.
A joint memo from the Offices of Personnel Management and Budget is requiring agency leaders to submit their plans to shrink the workforce within their respective agencies.
If they can cut, it's better. And if they don't cut, then Elon will do the cutting.
Some agencies have already started making large cuts. The Department of Veterans Affairs is planning to eliminate 80,000 workers, and the Health and Human Services Department is set to offer $25,000 buyouts to most of its 80,000 strong workforce.
Adding to the chaos around the U.S. economy, the potential for yet another showdown over government funding if there's no deal by Friday night. CBS political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Over the weekend, House Republicans released a stopgap plan to kind of keep things running through the end of September 30th. It is 99 pages. Here is what it does. It increases defense spending by about $6 billion while decreasing domestic spending by about $13 billion. It also increases immigration and customs enforcement money and also adds funding for veterans' health care.
The House is set to vote on this stopgap bill as early as tomorrow.
Majority Party in Canada has chosen a new leader to take over for outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. CBS correspondent Derek Waller.
The next Prime Minister of Canada.
Canada's incoming Prime Minister, former banker Mark Carney, commented on the possibility of a trade war Sunday.
The Canadian government has rightly retaliated and is rightly retaliating with our own tariffs that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada.
Carney says the nation's retaliatory tariffs will remain in place until, quote, the Americans show us respect.
Coming up, from Mardi Gras to Tardy Gras.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 7:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
News about your money, WTMJ 7:07.
Stock markets poised to open lower this morning amid myriad concerns from traders. ABC's Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis.
You have that uncertainty around things like tariffs, the possibility of a shutdown, and now that R word, the question of a recession. Here on Wall Street, traders listen to everything that comes out of the White House.
Your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update coming up just before 7:30. You've got the futures
Yeah,
up there,
futures
though, not
are
good.
all down at the moment. It's in the red. Moving on, an ongoing outbreak of measles has not yet reached Wisconsin, but what about the outbreak of vaccine misinformation? Dr. Bridget O'Brien of Shoreview Pediatrics was on WTMJ Spending the State. She says what she observes in Milwaukee.
We have a very pro-vaccine population, which is helpful, but that's not to say that there aren't some individuals who elect not to vaccinate or are starting to push back on our recommendations to vaccinate their children.
The measles outbreak in the South has turned deadly. The current rise in measles cases is only the fourth outbreak in the past decade that's affected more than 100 people.
Mardi Gras in New Orleans on Tuesday. Now, Sunday at the Big Easy, they're calling it Tardy Gras.
Instead of organized crews in elaborate costumes,
we have waitresses, cooks, plumbers, electricians.
4,000 riders in simple truck-pulled floats, says Parade Captain Brian Ruiz.
These people all build their own floats. It's family and friends, a lot of them.
The threat of severe weather last Tuesday pushed back the annual Mardi Gras truck parade to Sunday, officially bringing carnival season to a close. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:08. Tired of staring at the same old garage door? Vince Vitrano here. Lifetime Door Company wants to give you a new one for free. Your chance to win by texting GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. All you need to do is take a picture of your garage door or get creative. Tell us a story. Register to win and you can pick the door of your dreams. Valued at up to $8,000, text GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Just about 7:10. How's the drive, Debbie?
Oh, not too bad. We do have this crash on the off-ramp to Ryan Road from 94 southbound, so that's something to keep in mind. If you're heading through that area, might be a little bit of a hiccup. But other than that, for the most part, I'm looking at no delays at the moment, pretty much standard speeds across the area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A beautiful Monday, mostly sunny skies and warm temperatures this afternoon with a gusty breeze out of the southwest. We'll see highs in the mid-60s for today. Tonight, mostly clear, breezy, and mild. Low temperatures right around 40. We'll see a weak cold front move through tonight that will knock down our temperatures for Tuesday. It will be a dry cold front, highs in the 40s during the morning hours, dropping into the upper 30s later in the day. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high temperatures in the upper 40s by the lake, lower 50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, lakeside areas in the lower 50s, inland spots near 60. Warmer on Friday, partly to mostly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake, close to 70 inland. Storms roll in Friday night and will continue into Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 41 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
It's going to be here before you know it. Spring break will kick in. For us, we're a couple of weeks away yet, where my kids are at. But
I think ours is the same as yours, like mid to late March, right? Everything feels late this year.
Yeah, some seem to be closer to Easter, others are further away.
Happening today.
But happening today as we get ready for spring break, big old news conference going to be held at the airport. Mitchell International going to hold a news conference, a media conference to discuss this year's busy spring break travel season. So they anticipate it to be busy enough where they want to get in front of it at the airport and do some things.
Well, I was about to tease them about that because
you could do that if you'd like.
Breaking news, people are going to travel over spring break this year. But one of the issues that does pop up, particularly this time of year, is folks roll up on the airport in their car and they can't park. Like literally every single spot can end up being taken in the parking structure. Even some of their surface lots will fill up, and then you go out to the private lots that are off-site. And so if you have designs on going to the airport and flying, at least consider your travel options.
So this news conference is for you then. Media are invited to attend MKE's update on spring break flight projections and helpful parking tips.
Aha, see?
To help travelers prepare for their trip.
Good.
So there's something there. I was just at the airport a couple of weeks ago for a flight, and we were struggling to find a spot to park in the structure. I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I was amazed at how many cars were in there.
You
which
usually
is
have
good.
really good luck. Well, usually if the weather's not horrible and we have the time, still on the airport property, but the outlots where you save a whole bunch of money and then get on the little shuttle, that's fine. I've also parked off-site too.
Yeah.
Some of those there.
You know, they could also ask, though, and they could ask about like Concourse E, and they could ask about the federal funding that they need for some of these new terminals, and is that federal funding still going to be there? I mean, there are other.
You have other questions you would like posed at the news conference?
You could ask at this news conference, other than is there a place to park for spring breakers? I'm just saying.
I'm sure they'll tell you to download the app and prepay for your parking. That'll get a ride.
A la the Brewers, pay ahead of time.
Yeah, you can do that. And that way you're guaranteed a spot. I don't know how they figure that out, but they have that figured out somehow. You're guaranteed a spot if you've paid for it ahead of time?
One time I think we got a Groupon once where we parked off site at like this like little lobby area where they take care of your car, and then they drove us in a nice little shuttle. Like we had drinks and not drink, but like water and sodas and things, and they drove us to the airport and all that.
Well, how far away were you?
It was just I don't know, a mile and a half away.
How many drinks did you have in a mile and a half?
Well, no, they had like sodas and things.
Send around a bottle?
No, not cocktails.
Take a pull off of this.
No, nothing like that. But like
drinks included.
But they were offering, you could bring a water with you or whatever. I don't know.
You got their Fireball?
Anyway, happening today, spring break officially here. They'll tell you all about the parking and the Groupons, maybe.
Ask them over there whether or not drinks are included.
Yeah, that's more important than the Concourse stuff.
7:15.
According to Vince.
Sports up next.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. I'm about to save you some money. Shopco Optical, name I know and trust for vision exams and for my glasses, now all in one location, and discounts galore. So anytime you buy one pair of glasses at Shopco Optical, each additional pair is 50% off. But there are also other great ways to save. Start at shopco.com. You click on the special offers page, and right there you'll see more than half a dozen other offers, many of them for big savings on things like contact lenses, like hundreds of dollars off on your contacts. You get them all for the year. Put your eye care benefits to work. Use your FSA dollars to cover some of it. Then now with your better vision, you're going to see big savings. Call Shopco Optical or get started online at shopco.com to schedule an appointment.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
So I think everyone can agree that the Cleveland Cavaliers are a really good basketball team. The Cavs beating the Bucks at Fiserv Forum Sunday night. It's their 14th straight win, the final 112-100. And Coach Doc Rivers says, boy, it'd be nice if the Bucks pass the ball a little bit more.
Back-to-back nights, I thought the difference in the two teams' trust ball movement was visual. We've had it. We've lost it the last couple of games, and we got to get it back.
Giannis says his team just needs to play more free.
Play back-to-back, they back-to-back. And obviously, some of your legs might be tired a little bit, mentally might be a little bit fatigued, but they play with joy, play free, play with high spirit, and good things going to happen.
Yeah, back-to-back games, and they lost them both over the weekend. The Bucks need to figure out how to beat top teams. Right now, that does not happen. They're 0-9 against the best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Oof.
0-9. You're going to have to play at least one of those teams in the playoffs.
Yes.
At least one of those teams. Up next, the Pacers tomorrow night.
If you are of the opinion that the Packers should be looking to sign a veteran free agent at wide receiver this offseason, close your ears. Former Green Bay Packer Devontae Adams is off the market, cut by the Jets, now signed by the Rams, according to NFL Network. And eyebrows raised about a potential trade for Seattle's DK Metcalf. That ain't happening either. He is now with the Steelers, traded for a second-round pick.
Now, why do you say eyebrows raised?
Well, because when that was proposed, like that's what I meant by that. Like you heard, Seattle DJ Metcalf on the trade block for. That's the sound that your eyebrows make when they read.
Yeah. I got you. College basketball.
Put them back in their resting spot.
A conference tournament play starts this week. This is an exciting week. This is when it really gets fun in college basketball. The Selection Sunday, of course, is just a few days away. Wisconsin is the 5 seed in the Big Ten tournament. So they'll start that tournament run on Thursday afternoon. It's like a 1:30-ish tip. They're going to play the winner of Northwestern and Minnesota. Marquette, exactly the same thing. 5 seed, 1:30-ish tip, playing Thursday afternoon against Xavier. So both teams, same game, same time. Not same game, but playing at the same time. You can hear the Marquette game on 94.5 ESPN.
And both teams had 11 a.m. starts on Saturday and lost.
Yeah, in disappointing fashion
yes.
for both of them, yes.
Wisconsin women's basketball looking for a new head coach. Marissa Mosley is moving on. UW announcing her resignation Sunday. The Badgers finished 13-17, bowing out in the first round of the Big Ten tournament for the women last week. Badgers Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Don't count us out. Not
Lillard
yet.
scoops to the hoop, lays it in. The Bucks have taken a 1-point Lopez in transition, squeezes up a 3, and he drilled it. The Bucks throwing fire.
This season is far from over.
To work with, drives inside and stuffs it down with the right hand. 59 points now for Giannis. He's tapping his chest as he goes the other way, saying, "This is my house.
We are the home of the Bucks.
This is my house."
WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here talking about Built Right's annual Friends and Family Mattress Sale. It's on now. The one location saves you time and money. Built Right makes it easy to shop and easy to buy. You hear me talk about it a lot. Let me get you one of my fellow customers. This is Jenna from Cudahy. Quote, "Mattress shopping, I've done the research for you. This is the best place to go for absolute quality at a good price. Ask for JD. He helped us years ago find our bed and was able to help us today find the right bed for our 14-year-old. JD really knows the products and has great strategy of questions to really figure out what you need. I purchased our mattress with full confidence that it's going to last and be able to give proper support for many years." You pay the extra amount for the support, she says, on that big mattress. It will save you money in the long run. Got to get to Built Right today. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, of course, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you. Vinny and Jenna, apparently, sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Broadway's smash hit, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, is coming to Milwaukee. The true story of a kid from Brooklyn, destined for something more, featuring all the songs you love, including America, Forever in Blue Jeans, and Sweet Caroline. Like Jersey Boys and Beautiful, the next musical mega hit is here. The Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, March 25th through 30th at the Marcus Center. On sale now at marcuscenter.org.
721. What do you see, Debbie?
Roads?
I'll let you go.
Well, we do
Debbie,
have an
your turn
accident. We've got an accident southbound 94 on the Ryan Road off-ramp, and that's really the only thing we've got going on. We do have a few taps on the brakes here and there. Southbound 43 right past Fond du Lac Avenue. Eastbound 94 is tightening up just a little bit east of 84th Street, but overall, everything else is actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Mostly sunny today, high of 65 degrees, winds gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Tonight's low down to 40. And we drop back into the 40s for highs. Tuesday's high 44, upper 30s by the afternoon and evening. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, high 47 at the lake. In the low 50s inland, Thursday, 60 degrees away from Lake Michigan, high of 51 by the lake. And for Friday, partly to mostly cloudy. Some nighttime storms are likely with a high of 63 lakeside, 70 inland. Right now at 43 in Milwaukee.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks.
What a Monday morning.
That's right. The week ahead, sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. Look ahead to your dream summer by scheduling an appointment today. Call 414-333-1888 or visit excelcustomdecks.com. It is the week ahead on Wisconsin's Morning News. What is going to be in your news feed, on your timeline, on the phone, on the television, perhaps in the paper, on
the news
radio.
conferences.
Yes.
Why don't you just tell me what's
Or
going to
one
be
of
in the
news
news
conferences. Starting today, our first of what we would assume will be many listening sessions of different sizes and varying degrees. The listening sessions begin for your budget, the state budget proposal. A few lawmakers going to hold a state budget listening session in Milwaukee today at Village Square Library. 5:30 start time, so this is the first of what we would anticipate will be many. The big ones are the Joint Finance Committee ones. Like,
those are the all-day sessions
where anything goes.
A bunch of people get loose for 2 minutes at the mic.
Yes. And like oftentimes though, depending on how the setup is, you'll see some of the same faces at each one of those listening sessions because they'll have like 3 or 4 across the state. And you'll see, like, wait,
me again.
Wait, is that the county executive?
I still want you to fund this.
Yeah, they'll like go to each one. The one today, though, is a much smaller one, and this is not the Joint Finance Committee, just a couple of lawmakers in Milwaukee. Later on today, that will begin. The NFL year officially begins this week. Why is that important? Well, there's usually a lot of announcements, changes, trades, free agencies, what have you, that start in the next couple of days. The tampering, you could say,
has already begun.
Begins now, right? And what's the big expectation? The Packers might get themselves a defensive end or a receiver or something like that.
Or
That's
after
there.
weeks of speculation, months even, then it'll be like, nah, we like where we're at.
Yeah, we're good with it. Later this week, something incredible will happen late Thursday night.
This was one of the most incredible things I think I've ever experienced. I don't actually have words to explain what I just saw.
I remember those sound like the eclipse people.
A blood moon, total lunar eclipse, will occur late Thursday. The moon will turn deep shades of rusty red throughout more than an hour-long totality.
It was a perfect conclusion to our new lives. I mean, the sun and the moon and the earth have become one, and so have we.
So
was that all from the solar eclipse that you and I missed?
I don't know
by
what you're talking about.
Several minutes.
Anyway, so that's going to happen Thursday night into Friday. So it starts like at 11 something, but it goes throughout the night. So totality for us might be like 2:30 in the morning. Friday morning, but if you're
wondering, no.
If you would like to do something with that, we could consider it. Or if not, that's fine. Okay, fine. We'll do other things. Spring break will be the discussion today at the Milwaukee airport as we get ready for spring break, which is going to fire up here in the next couple of weeks. The new MPS superintendent starts this week. So we have Trowbridge School, which is still shut down. We're having lead testing done at some of the places and for students. And her first day officially is March 15th, which is Saturday. So we're not quite sure how that's going to work, but that's this week. And then we're going to have ourselves a new superintendent.
One of two things happens. She actually shows up on Saturday and there's nobody there for her. She's like, I said Saturday. Like, let's go. We got a lot to do. Mm-hmm. Or they're there waiting and she's like, oh, Saturday? Nah, I don't work Saturday.
Right. I'll see you Monday.
I'll see you guys Monday.
Right? Okay. St. Patrick's Day is a week from today. But you could expect maybe a little bit of greenery before then. We have the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Milwaukee this weekend on Saturday, so it gets going. Should we assume that Monday's still going to be like the big celebratory
Yeah, but
day?
like talk to your point, like Thursday, Friday already, it'll start being St. Patrick's Day around here. Saturday
so?
with the parade. I don't know what the weather is for Saturday, but 70 degrees your high. 60s by the lake on Friday.
Holy
cow. Town will be up for grabs. Good luck.
So is that going to steal the thunder then from the actual day?
Nah, it's just thunder continues for days.
Patrick's Day. Everyone's Irish tonight.
All right. College basketball, the conference tournaments start this week. Selection Sunday is next week. At the movie theaters, what can we expect to see on the silver screen?
I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, but I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
Novocaine, featuring Jack Quaid from The Boys. That is out this weekend. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. This is the week ahead. Look ahead to your dream summer by scheduling an appointment today. Call 414-333-1888 or visit excelcustomdecks.com. This has been the week ahead.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average finished Friday at 42,802. The Nasdaq at 18,196. And the S&P 500 closed at 5770. Futures all down this morning as the president, in an interview on Sunday, mentioned the word recession. So we'll be
everything in the red at
watching
the moment.
Wall Street very closely this morning. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite.
Things are getting even cheaper at Fleet Farm during Chick Days, March 6th through the 12th. We've got the most popular poultry breeds, all at the best prices guaranteed. Plus, get great deals on other chickening needs too, like 20% off Little Giant feeders and waterers. 40 pounds of Nature-Wise protein crumble is on sale for $16.99. And Kamek and Tamarack boots for the coop are all 25% off. Eggers, Leghorns, Reds. Now's the best time to get them during Fleet Farm Chick Days.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Eastbound 94, looking at a little bit of a delay from 92nd Street all the way through to about Hawley Road, and again through the Stadium interchange. The westbound side's going to be a bit tight. West of 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Bit tight northbound 43 from North Avenue to Keith. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today and a high of 65 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, we got a ways to go. We're at 43.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston Dow futures down nearly 500 points right now as traders weigh the shifting White House policy on tariffs. ABC's Rachel Scott is in Washington.
Just days ago, the markets tumbled when Trump imposed a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico. The president quickly reversing course. Now Trump says he's planning for even more. A 25% tariff on all foreign steel and aluminum will take effect on Wednesday, and vowing to impose what he calls reciprocal tariffs on countries, too.
Canada's next Prime Minister, Mark Carney, telling supporters at his victory party last night that Canada's main threat right now is the United States. Carney is a former federal banking official who will lead that country's ruling Liberal Party. An oil tanker and a cargo ship have collided off the coast of eastern England. Rescue operations are underway. North Korea fired several ballistic missiles into the sea just as South Korea and the U.S. begin annual military drills. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 dead, 1 person recovering after shooting in Milwaukee's Deneen Park. 19-year-old man died from injuries. Second 19-year-old showed up at the hospital, but is expected to survive. And then, according to Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, another person was discovered dead in a vehicle, 26 years old, likely injured in the same incident. Sheriff's office only saying the investigation is fluid and ongoing.
Meanwhile, a 16-year-old said to be in serious condition this morning after a shooting overnight on Milwaukee's south side. This is near 14th and Dakota. No one in custody.
A body recovered from Lake Michigan in Kenosha, where police there are telling us they responded to Eichelman Park on Sunday afternoon. Body is in the hands now of the Kenosha County Medical Examiner's Office. The park is open again. No identity has been made public.
High-speed crash injures a felon and 5 teenagers in Racine. Driver going 90 miles per hour hit another car near 16th and Taylor. This happened Sunday. 17-year-old girl was driving the other vehicle. She's now fighting life-threatening injuries. She's at Children's. 4 other teenage passengers are all expected to survive. Now, according to court records, the driver of the vehicle that rammed into them was serving parole for multiple charges. State Department of Corrections has that driver on hold.
Cornerstone in Milwaukee's LGBTQ plus community closing its doors.
This Is It is no longer. The bar announced on Sunday that the pandemic and a long-term closure of East Wells Street, quote, put the business in a position that we could not ultimately overcome, unquote. This Is It was the longest-running LGBTQ plus bar in Wisconsin, founded by June Brame in 1968 and most recently co-owned by drag superstar and Milwaukee native Trixie Mattel. Alderman Peter Bergelis and Alderwoman Jocasta Zamaripa thanked staff and performers in a statement, calling This Is It a sanctuary, a safe space, and a vital gathering place. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, an LGBTQ plus chef is proposing a new use for a shuttered Milwaukee brewery.
Overlap with the LGBTQ community, service industry professionals, and artists.
It's this unique neighborhood dichotomy that's drawn Vanessa Rose to the former company brewing space, which has been vacant for almost a year.
We would like to host concerts of musicians that are not platformed very regularly. It's got space that we can turn into a gallery.
Rose hopes to raise $30,000 through crowdfunding to cover initial licensing and lease costs. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Outbreaks of measles across the country have not reached epidemic levels for now, but doctors are worried that public mistrust in vaccines could lead to more of these outbreaks for preventable diseases. Dr. Bridget O'Brien at Shoreview Pediatrics on WTMJ.
All of the 14 childhood diseases that we vaccinate against, we do that for very specific reasons. All those diseases are ones that are like severe and deadly or have high mortality or very serious side effects.
Now, if you're an adult, but you're not sure whether or not you've received a vaccination against measles as a child, or maybe you don't even have a record, Dr. O'Brien says a booster shot, it won't hurt you to get the booster, just to be safe.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:35.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, so some of these rings can actually save your life.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked for quite some time about the disruption that mergers and acquisitions in the insurance industry can cause. So what did 2024 look like, and what do you see ahead for 25?
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. It was another incredibly busy year for mergers and acquisitions in our space. Over 750 agents and brokers chose to sell their business in 2024, and that follows 833 deals in 2023.
So, Jeff, remind us again why that's important for folks who are listening right now.
Vince, when your agent or broker sells their business, it means uncertainty, disruption, and in many cases, new relationships. Does any of this sound desirable if you're a business owner or a homeowner looking for guidance? New owners have new demands on the acquired business. New systems mean employees and sales staff will be internally focused for extended periods of time. The focus becomes very much internal, away from the customer, as those acquired organizations figure out who's in charge, what systems are we going to use, and what does my future role look like going forward. Wisconsin agencies and brokers haven't been immune to this activity and distraction either. Lots of activity in our state. We've even seen a few organizations on their second new owner in just a couple of years.
Jeff, I've heard you say it before. We are not for sale. Give us a recommendation for R&R insurance.
Vince, we're fiercely independent. We've been family-owned for almost 50 years. Independent means we make our own decisions. This allows us to be client-focused and direct our energy and resources toward client value, not private equity returns or shareholder returns. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience with a top 100 agency in the country, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:38.
Pretty tough weekend for the Milwaukee Bucks. We got sports at 7:45.
You know anyone who wears an Aura ring? My wife's got one. I know a bunch of people that have them. They are...
It's one of these medical rings?
Yeah,
tells
so it's similar to like a smartwatch or whatever, but it'll give you all kinds of data. How you slept, how your blood pressure's doing, all these different things. Well, one of these actually saved a lady's life.
Nikki Gooding credits a high-tech health tracker for saving her life.
I kept getting alerts on my Oura Ring app saying that I was displaying major signs that my body was under some sort of stress.
She went to the doctor, where she got the stunning news.
I actually ended up being diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. Luckily, my oncologist actually said that we did catch it pretty early.
The Smart Ring is a wellness monitor meant to track everything from heart rate to sleep patterns.
ABC's ran an ally, so okay, now these rings are saving lives too. It's going to be the hot new thing. Actually, I think they're already hot. I'm noticing a lot of people start finding new ways to get data about their health, and this is one of the new hot ones. It's a little ring that you wear.
So this woman is basically saying, I didn't know anything was wrong with me.
Right. But then her app kept blowing up on her saying, hey, this is your body is stressed because of this, and showing her different levels or different numbers. So then she went in and they're like, yeah, it looks like you got a problem here. Got cancer.
Okay. I just frankly don't need that much data. I mean, this is a case, obviously,
you
where
could tell me right now whether or not you slept well last night.
Tell you, not good. Now back to you. 7:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Tired of staring at the same old garage door? It's the biggest door to your house. It makes one of the biggest impressions in terms of curb appeal. And when folks come to visit, great opportunity for you to transform the look of your home. Lifetime Door Company is giving you a chance to win. A free garage door plus free installation. It's valued at up to $8,000. Here's how you get in on it. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, which is 855-616-1620. Or just go to our website, WTMJ.com. It's right there on the front page. You click on the Lifetime Door Contest, and you enter your name and information. You're all set to go. Don't wait. Get on board today. Maybe you like your garage door, so maybe there's a friend or a family member who you think could benefit from hearing about this. Let those folks know. Contest rules available on our website, WTMJ.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlawns.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Rich Lawns.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
What do you see on the roads, Deb?
Well, we got some backups eastbound 94, basically from Highway F all the way past Barker Road. And then again from 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. The westbound side, heavy from about 20th Street all the way past Hawley Road. We've also got some northbound 43 delays from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A beautiful Monday, mostly sunny skies and warm temperatures this afternoon with a gusty breeze out of the southwest. We'll see highs in the mid-60s for today. Tonight, mostly clear, breezy, and mild. Low temperatures right around 40. We'll see a weak cold front move through tonight that will knock down our temperatures for Tuesday. It will be a dry cold front, highs in the 40s during the morning hours, dropping into the upper 30s later in the day. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high temperatures in the upper 40s by the lake, lower 50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, lakeside areas in the lower 50s, inland spots near 60. Warmer on Friday, partly to mostly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake, close to 70 inland. Storms roll in Friday night and will continue into Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 41 degrees. But how about the 60s today? As you heard Tyler mention, mostly sunny, high of 65 degrees. Forecast gets a little bit trickier here as we go through these spring months because there's a lakeside high and then there's an inland high. I mean, it's practically going to be summer in Madison like a month and a half before us. Right? Get one of these days where it's like, around Milwaukee, 61 degrees, and Madison gets 78.
Yep.
But we will have that through the week. A couple of really interesting days. So today we got 65. Looking like we could pop a 70 on Friday. Lakeside high would be 63.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So for sure, coming off of the winter, this is a shorts day.
Oh, yeah.
In Wisconsin.
Gosh. You kidding?
Milwaukee County making a few golf courses available already this mid-March. Several others I'll list here as well. Limited play at Curry. It's an 18-hole course, but they only got 9 open. Lincoln Park is a 9-hole course, and that'll be open today. Whitnall, they're going all 18. So those are your Milwaukee County golf courses.
Is that a good idea?
I think
not to go golfing when it's nice out, but to open the courses when it's...
things are so squishy. I think a lot of places hold off, like so they
destroy the
get
course
folks out there tearing it up. I think at least for Milwaukee County, many of these are walking only.
Okay.
And if your mobility is an issue and you need to take a cart when you golf, I would double check with any of these places that they're letting carts out. Ives Grove in Racine County says they're open. Didn't see any of the Waukesha County courses open. Broadlands is in Waukesha County, but that's a private course out in North Prairie. I mean, open to the public, but not a county course. They say they'll be open today, so not a comprehensive list. But if you need your golf today, it's available. Stuff is on fire out by you over there.
Yeah, we had a Brookfield brush fire. That's in my neck of the woods, and I was a little thrown by it. You don't always expect something like that in your neighborhood, but we got a lot of nature preserve areas around there. It's right by a Senex. There's a dealer there too, and it was bad. It was significant fire there for several hours on Sunday.
Despite the wet weather that we had midweek, still very dry conditions
really
overall.
Windy yesterday, too, just enough to give it some fuel.
Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WDTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
So it's possible the Cavaliers of Cleveland in the NBA could win 70 games this year, which is a lot. They are really good, and the Bucks, they got to see if they can actually beat one of these top teams as soon as possible, because as of now, the Bucks are 0-9 when it comes to playing the top teams in the East. They lost last night, 112-100 at Fiserv Forum. The Cavs win. Giannis says the Bucks need to relax and just play a better style of basketball, and be cool, calm, and shoot some more threes.
Back-to-back nights, I thought the difference in the two teams' trust, ball movement was visual. We've had it. We've lost it the last couple of games, and we got to get it back.
That was Doc there, of course, talking about how they really need to move the ball a little bit. Up next for the Bucks, Indiana tomorrow night. Speaking of basketball, college basketball tournament play starts this week for the conference tournaments. This is when it gets fun. So Wisconsin's the 5 seed in the Big Ten. Marquette's the 5 seed in the Big East. Both will play Thursday afternoon at or around 1:30. Marquette will play Xavier. Wisconsin at the same time will play either Northwestern or Minnesota. So you guys can hear the Marquette game on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. But here we go.
Isn't your alma mater in? Did you guys wrap your
Yeah, we're already
tournament?
in the tournament. Drake Bulldogs are in.
All right, I'm going to adopt Drake.
Yeah, good. Punch our
Good
ticket
for you.
officially yesterday. We have 30 wins this year, the Drake Bulldogs do.
Wow.
Yeah, they beat Bradley in the MVC, the Missouri Valley, so they may actually play in Milwaukee. So my phone has been blowing up. I have a lot of people asking about tickets staying at my house coming in case Drake actually plays here.
Fiserv Forum, in case you didn't know, hosting rounds 1 and 2
Friday
of the
and
NCAA
Sunday.
tournaments
Yep.
for this region. So, yeah, they could.
Yeah.
And your buddies from school assume that you are awash in tickets.
Yes, a lot of people asking me, hey, can you get us tickets for your
Call
work?
Bilstad. He works for the radio. They got tons of tickets over there.
I'm just sitting in a pile of first-round tickets right here.
Yeah.
No, so, yeah, we're trying to figure that out. But it's expensive from what I gather, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, because you got to buy like the session. Look, if you come here I want to encourage you to host folks at your house that you don't want to, but they'll be able to get tickets to see Drake if they needed it.
You would think so. Yeah.
All right, good luck with that. Quick note for the Badgers: 13-17 on the season. First round Big Ten tournament loss and facing criticism from former players of being abusive. The Wisconsin women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley is out. UW announced her resignation on Sunday. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
No Corona! All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Are you looking for a new car or truck? Well, good news. Inventories have really improved lately, and I have a few ideas to help you find the vehicle of your dreams. I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. The first step to getting that car of your dreams is to visit any of the 115 Adam member dealerships, where you can see their selection in person and take test drives. You can also find out about the new cars they have on order and reserve the one you want. Or if you really want to get the exact car you're dreaming of, they can order it for you. It might take a few weeks for delivery, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to have the perfect vehicle built just for you? This is your chance. Plus, if you're thinking of trading in your current car or ending your lease early, you'll be amazed at what dealers are offering. And if you prefer to handle the negotiations and paperwork remotely, no problem. Most Adam dealers will even bring cars to you for test drives. So don't wait. Start your search now. Find an Adam member dealer near you at adamm.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:51. Let's check in on the roads, Debbie.
All right. Well, the volume woke up. We've got delays northbound on 43 from about just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 slow from 16th Street all the way past Hawley Road. The eastbound side slowing down from Highway 164 all the way through the Barker Road area. Then back on the brakes from 84th Street, solid to about 35th. We've also got delays northbound on 4394 coming out of the Mitchell Interchange on the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lahaziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny and warm today, a high of 65 degrees, Vince. 65.
Break out the shorts.
Clear, breezy, mild, low of 40 degrees tonight. For Tuesday, a little bit cooler, a high of 44. It's going to be in the upper 30s inland and into the later in the evening tomorrow. Wednesday, a high of 53. Thursday, 60. Friday, 70 degrees inland with storms expected Friday night. Your forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
Idea Man.
We've been doing the Bolt-a-thon for, I think, 4 seasons now. Eric bragged pretty much all season every time McKinney has another pick.
Innovator.
The problem with a lot of us on radio and TV and everything else is we talk too much.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
One of the lessons that I hope Eric learns and everybody else when you do this, be bold and then be done.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Adams out, Metcalf out. The Packers had designs on signing either of those guys to be their number one wide receiver. Too late as we bring in Mark Tauscher this morning. I don't know, Tausch, did we just not want those guys or did we get beat out?
You know what? The Devontae one is really interesting. DK Metcalf, they were never going to pay that price, right?
What was it, $150 over 5 years?
Yeah, and it's not only that; it's also that second-round pick. And you heard Goody talking about. I think it would have had to been somebody. I think that was really transformative, and maybe DK Metcalf will be that. But obviously, they didn't feel that strongly about it. So that's always the tricky part of this when you're trying to acquire talent that you didn't bring in. It's good. They don't let good players leave. Like if Pittsburgh believed it, or if Seattle believed that, they would have never traded him to Pittsburgh. They would have paid him. So that's always that dicey part of this. As far as Devontae, I really wanted Devontae in Green Bay. I thought that would have made a ton of sense with kind of where these teams are at. But that's obviously, Goody wants to always stay young. That is always kind of his MO in all cases. And even though I thought this was probably one of those opportunities that we could have looked for a veteran to come in, someone that you've had a lot of experience with, that was not the case. And we'll see what that means moving forward. But obviously it's going to be young guys. And I don't know if there's any free agent wideouts that were going to be a better fit than what Devontae was going to be.
Oh, man, that was my next question, Tausch. Is what do you think they do then? And will they target somebody else?
I think they'll keep looking and maybe take some flyers. The big thing, it's one thing if you're going to pay guys. The other thing is you're going to give up compensation with drafts and things like that. Draft picks, they were never going to do. They weren't going to do that. So that is, I think you're going to look at probably trying to find maybe a sleeper guy that hasn't gotten the opportunities. But I would bet that this means it's going to be a lot of Tucker Kraft and a lot of let's get the Romeo Dobbs, let's get these young guys. That's not what Packer fans are going to want to hear. But it was always going to be these guys need to get a lot better. That was where the most growth for this offense was going to be, is the guys that are here when you couldn't pull off the big one, whether it was DK Metcalf, Devontae, or any of these other guys.
So Eric and I were a little bit confused too, Tausch, because on Wednesday at 3 p.m. our time, the NFL's offseason officially begins, or the 2025 season sort of starts, where you can do various things that you couldn't heretofore. I thought you couldn't do all this signing guys and all this other stuff, but explain those rules to me. Is it possible Goody just didn't know? I'm just kidding about that. I thought that starts Wednesday. Jeez, we were going to sign that guy.
No, Goody knew. Goody knows, and so the funniest part of this whole thing is you have what they call legal tampering, which I think is kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But all of this stuff starts at the combine. Everybody's agents down there, all of the team personnel, people that are doing contracts. And what happens is you just start talking and you find out who's available. I believe there was a report a couple of weeks ago that Pete Carroll was coming up to first class and talking to John Schneider, over a flight to the combine. And it turns out that's how Geno Smith ended up coming to, the Raiders through that trade. So those conversations are always happening. There's not any big surprises when it comes to that, but everybody's got to be willing to do it. And then today at noon, 11 o'clock Central, which with daylight savings time, I don't know if that's 10 o'clock last week or whatever it is, you can really start the legal tampering, and you're going to start hearing a lot of innuendo and rumors because these conversations have happened, and now you can kind of make it unofficially official, and then Wednesday or Thursday you can actually sign and get the deal done.
What do you think, man? Are we still waiting for that game? Is that game record for the Cleveland Browns still available?
Nope, he's gone.
He's gone too?
No.
He re-signed.
Yeah, he's gone. I think,
You're right. It's not what fans want to hear. I don't know, man.
No, it's not. But you know what? There's a lot of times, and I just keep going back to Chase Claypool, and you get around that trade deadline, and everybody, sometimes the best moves are the ones you don't make.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
you give these opportunities to other guys. But I get it. I mean, I think we all want that splashy, big move that you think is going to put this team over the top. And occasionally, Charles Woodson, there are some that work. And by the way, everybody's saying, well, Goody doesn't do this. Goody made 2 monster splash picks last year. They are going to make moves. I just don't know if it's going to be the wide receiver spot. Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman.
That
or
is
if it's
very sexy. You bet.
That those are the guys that make the difference, and those are I think the talent you're always looking for. And I think from a receiver spot, you're going to probably look more at the draft than anything else. I would be really surprised if Green Bay goes big on a wideout in this class with some of the guys that have already come off the board.
Those non-podium guys, let me tell you.
Do the dirty work.
The non-podium. So I know Bilstad loves all the podium guys and all the pretty faces.
It's all the only guys he talks about.
Yeah, when you look at who wins, it's the big uglies. Who's got the better big uglies? And obviously the quarterback. The Chiefs didn't have the big uglies this year. The Eagles did. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champs.
We'll talk tomorrow. Thanks, Tausch. 7:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce starts planning for the next version of its Region of Choice Diversity Hiring and Promotion Initiative. 130 employers voluntarily participated in the first 5-year program. Tiger Aesthetics Medical announces a $50 million plant expansion in Franklin for its silicone breast implants business. The company last year acquired the business from Sientra, which was in bankruptcy. Former Channel 12 anchorman Patrick Palantonio joins a Milwaukee corporate communications, crisis management, and public affairs firm. He's vice president at HPR Strategies with clients in retail, entertainment, and home building. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
So the front hall closet really coming along with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I saw a commercial for one of these high-pressure closet companies the other day offering more than 50% off your project right now. Give me a break. What do you think their normal prices are? Work with my friends Katie and Dan. Stop in and see them in Waukesha. Honest, upfront pricing and no pressure sales. They want to work with you. They want to help you design a project that cuts the clutter and calms the chaos in your home, adds form and function to your life. That's been our experience, my wife and me working with Katie and Dan on our new front closet. I love how it's coming together and how they make us feel when we talk about all of the different options. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Hey, boaters!
Well, if you have an old boat, new boat, or in between, then Kendor Marine is a great place for you to shop. Because not only do we have all the parts and accessories you need for almost any kind of boat, we also have the expert advice that just about any boater is one day gonna need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com. At Kendor Marine, we have everything you need but the water. For over 50 years, boaters have found that to be true. Because when they've needed that old part they thought they'd never find, guess what? They found it here, along with everything else you need to keep your boat out there on the water. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 10th, our top story. Shooting in a Milwaukee park.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Wake 2 of a temporary school closure.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Trouble on northbound 894, right about at National Avenue, or just before National Avenue. We've got the left lane blocked with a crash. And in the backups, right about at Beloit Road, we have another crash off on the right shoulder. Solid delays out of the Hale interchange. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street to 27th Street. The westbound side's backed up from the Marquette all the way past Hawley Road. And northbound 43 backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. High of 65 degrees, mostly clear overnight. Breezy with winds gusting still overnight to 25 miles an hour and a low of 40. Right now, Milwaukee's at 41. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, violence at a park, Deneen Park, Milwaukee's northwest side.
A shooting investigation is underway after 2 people died and 1 person was injured. Late Sunday afternoon, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office found a 19-year-old man with gunshot injuries. He was treated at the park, then transported to a hospital where he later died. A second 19-year-old man later walked into a hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Then, in another part of Milwaukee, a 26-year-old man was found dead in a vehicle. The sheriff's office believes all 3 victims were shot at the same park. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, 16-year-old E is said to be in serious condition right now after a shooting overnight on Milwaukee's south side near 14th and Dakota. No one's in custody.
Another round of deep cleaning set for Trowbridge School in Milwaukee today, as that school's been shuttered since last week due to high levels of lead dust throughout the building. Health Department's Tyler Weber says the cleaning process is multifaceted.
We have to go through and analyze what were the failure results, what levels were they at, and then what rooms were they in.
District says if the school meets all clearance requirements, students and staff could potentially return as soon as Friday.
Remarkably, no property damage or injuries after a marsh fire in Brookfield.
What started as a grass fire behind Soren's Ford dealership Sunday afternoon quickly grew into a fire out of control. Several homes on Chapel Hill Drive and Compton Lane, as well as the Brookfield Sports Complex and Voight Soccer Park, were all evacuated out of precaution. Officials say limited access and high winds made the blaze difficult to put out. The fire was ultimately extinguished around 6:15. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Stock futures all in the red this morning as the markets open in about 20 minutes or so, expected to open vastly down once again as there are concerns from traders. ABC's chief business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis on Wall Street this morning.
You have that uncertainty around things like tariffs, the possibility of a shutdown, and now that R word, the question of a recession. Here on Wall Street, traders listen to everything that comes out of the White House.
Canada's next prime minister is sparing no time responding to the president's ongoing threat of tariffs.
In trade, as in hockey, Canada will win.
Mark Carney elected overnight to lead the nation's Liberal Party, who replaces outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. In his speech on CTV, Carney said Canada will keep retaliatory tariffs in place.
Measles outbreak that's claimed 2 lives in the Southwest is sickened nearly 200, sent a wave of concern across West Texas and eastern New Mexico. ABC's Jim Ryan reporting this morning, though, measles pales in comparison to a health threat that strikes every year.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that since the start of October, 40 million people have come down with seasonal influenza, including more than 500,000 who had to be hospitalized. The CDC says the flu season appears to have peaked now, but not before killing 22,000 Americans.
Coming up, the search for a missing spring breaker.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month at PellaWI.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
More protests expected today on Columbia University's campus. This time, it's about detention of student activist Mahmoud Khalil, a green card holder whose lawyer says now faces deportation. ABC's Reagan Medji.
This is all happening because federal immigration officials arrested a Palestinian activist who played a role in Columbia University's pro-Palestinian protests last year. Khalil's attorney says the Columbia University graduate was detained while returning to his apartment and is being held at an ICE detention center. Now, his attorney says ICE agents said they plan to revoke his student visa.
Access to the Columbia campus restricted in anticipation of those protests.
Happen again, a female college student disappears while on spring break.
A 20-year-old student from the University of Pittsburgh has gone missing in the Dominican Republic after spring break. Authorities say Sadikshu Kananki was last seen walking on a beach. This Pitt student recently returned from the Dominican Republic.
I hope she gets found soon. I think people were concerned because who would think it would be a girl from Pitt?
The U.S. State Department has issued travel warnings for the Dominican Republic since June of last year. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman will hold a news conference today regarding Erik and Lyle Menendez. They've been in prison for roughly 35 years for the murder of their parents. ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Their cousin wants the DA to recuse himself, and while DA Hochman hasn't commented on these recent accusations, he's told us in the past that he's met with family members, examined thousands of trial transcripts and hundreds of hours of videotaped testimony in order to make the best decision.
In a court letter, some family members are accusing DA Hochman of being dismissive and patronizing.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Tariffs and the threat of their implementation have become a central part of United States trade and foreign policy. What are tariffs? How are they implemented? And what sectors of the economy could benefit if they're put in place? Join me and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano, Chief Economist Brian Jacobson on March 11th at 1 p.m. for their informative webinar. Learn how your portfolio and your financial plan might be impacted and affected by tariffs. Visit the Annex Wealth Management webinar page at WTMJ.com.
Things are getting even cheaper at Fleet Farm during Chick Days, March 6th through the 12th. We've got the most popular poultry breeds, all at the best prices guaranteed. Plus, get great deals on other chickening needs, too, like 20% off Little Giant feeders and waterers. 40 pounds of Nature-Wise protein crumble is on sale for $16.99. And Kamek and Tamarack boots for the coop are all 25% off. Eggers, Leghorns, Reds. Now's the best time to get them during Fleet Farm Chick Days.
Spring is upon us. Folks itching to get outside. How about that? High of 60 to 65 degrees today. Boy, almost shortchanged you 5 degrees. So whether you're talking about softball or tennis or you've got one of the kids going out for spring sports, keep Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin top of mind. Nobody plans to get hurt, but rest easy knowing where to go and that you're in good hands should an injury arise. Now available 7 days a week for walk-ins, 24/7 for virtual care. OAW specializes in total joint, spine, and sports medicine. And not only is Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin convenient, you got 19 OAW physicians named Milwaukee Lifestyle Top Doctors of 2025. To experience their exceptional care and dedication to patients, get started at orthowisconsin.com.
Shop Steinhafels Make It Your Own event. Save up to $800 on their largest selection of sofas, dining sets, bedroom furniture, and more. All customizable so you can create the perfect piece for your space. And take advantage of Steinhafels' 18-month financing, only at Steinhafels.
Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's Sponsored Jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
At 8:11, let's get an update on the morning drive. Debbie.
All right. We got a few accidents to deal with. First of all, northbound 894 at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. A little bit further on, we've got a crash on the off-ramp to National Avenue, so that is going to be slowing things down as well. So backups basically all the way out at the Hale interchange. We've got broken down vehicle off on westbound 94, just west of Highway 100, actually just across the county line. So heads up with that. Eastbound, we are slowing down from about 84th Street through to 35th. Westbound slow from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43, watch for delays coming out of the Marquette, pretty much all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today, on our way to a high of 65 degrees. Awesome day ahead. Mostly clear, breezy and mild overnight, low down to 40. A little bit cooler for tomorrow. Tomorrow's high just 44. Upper 30s by the afternoon and evening hours. But enjoy today, right now at 41.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
At 8:13 on this Monday morning, it looks like the markets are prepared to take another dive when the opening bell on Wall Street rings in about 20 minutes or so this morning. Erik and I are on top of that, looking at some of the futures, everything down right now. But the opening bell just after 8:30, so we will update those numbers once that happens. I want to get you a couple of local stories here this morning to get started in this 8 o'clock hour. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office presumably still looking for one or more suspects. We don't really know in what turned out to be a double fatal shooting in a Milwaukee County park. We'll have more on that story in a moment, as some of the circumstances are very strange in that story. But first, this other story about a tragic end to a brief police pursuit in Racine where a fleeing driver took out a car full of teenagers. I don't know how you talk to your kids about how they drive, but one of the things I've told my kids is, I know when you're young, right, you think, I'm indestructible, nothing bad will ever happen to me and all of that stuff. I said, man, maybe worse than you injuring yourself would be you causing an accident.
Hurting someone else.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine you get in an accident with a family in their minivan and children are hurt or something like that. Like try to get their brains out of nothing bad happens to me.
Right.
Like, what if you cause something like that? And we had this terrible crash in Racine early Sunday morning. So really Saturday night, just past midnight, right? So early Sunday morning, just before 1 a.m., according to the Racine County Sheriff's Office, guy driving 90-plus miles an hour down city streets, residential area. If you know Racine, he's on 16th Street, and it's a Camaro just flying down the road. Deputy lights him up, but barely starts the pursuit. According to the Sheriff's Office, the vehicle was already out of the deputy's sight when that deputy decided to pursue. In a matter of blocks, so now they're down to Taylor Avenue in Racine, the Camaro had slammed into another car full of teenagers. 17-year-old girl from Racine was driving that other car. She was taken by Flight for Life to Children's. Sheriff's Office says she has life-threatening injuries. I've not seen an update on her condition yet this morning. 2 16-year-olds, 2 17-year-olds also in her car, all boys, all injured, but injuries not considered to be life-threatening. That doesn't mean they're okay, right? You're 16 or 17. If you've got severe injuries, you may survive, but also still have months, if not more, could even have potentially life-altering injuries. Don't know for sure this morning, but they are expected to survive. So back to the driver now of the fleeing vehicle. According to authorities, it's Salvador Coronado, 34 years old, from Racine. He was banged up badly, but injuries for him not considered to be life-threatening. Guy has prior convictions of, would you believe it, fleeing and eluding. So he's done this before. In other words, running from the cops. operating while revoked due to a prior OWI, and 2 counts of bail jumping in Racine County. Now, unlike some of these cases, this wasn't a thing where he was just out on bail and there were no consequences. It looks like he did prison time. He was sentenced to 18 months and then 2 years of what they call extended supervision, where you're under monitoring, you have restrictions on your various freedoms, but you're no longer behind bars. It appears that he was in this period right now of that you're out, and that was the sentence, so he wasn't getting away with something. You can argue whether or not that was a harsh enough sentence for the previous crimes, but nonetheless, it's not like some of these where he was just out, awaiting trial. But nonetheless, had a history of doing this before. And so we'll see where this case goes from here. But tragic situation with 5 teenagers blown up by this guy who's going 90-plus miles an hour in a neighborhood. So that was overnight in Racine. Let's get back to that other deal here in Milwaukee County. Sheriff's Office telling us overnight they did respond to the shooting in Deneen Park. That's Milwaukee's northwest side. Let me help you with that. Holy Cross Cemetery would be something that a lot of folks might recognize, kind of near 76th and Capitol.
Okay.
Like that area, a little southeast of that corner. But Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said, we're investigating 3 shootings, 2 fatal, 1 non-fatal in Deneen Park, approximately 4:20 in the afternoon. Sheriff's Office notified via 911 shooting at the park. Responding deputies, detectives, Milwaukee Police Department, Milwaukee Fire. So what they found at the park, you had a 19-year-old who was dead, fatal gunshot wounds. Another guy, according to the sheriff's office, 19 years old, apparently shot in the same incident, shows up at the hospital with a gunshot injury.
Needing help.
Yes, but they do not believe those injuries are life-threatening. And then later we learned from the sheriff's office, and they kind of discovered this as well, so this was sort of in real time of their discovery. They shared, we found another guy, 26 years old, dead in a car somewhere. They have not revealed, as far as I can tell, the location of where that vehicle was, but somebody else who got shot at the park appears to have gotten in the car and taken off
and then
ended up being dead.
Bleeding out.
Yeah. No location given of that discovery, and no mention, though, and this is the more important part in terms of public safety, no mention of a search for suspect or suspects, nor any circumstances surrounding that shooting. So that's what we know right now on that one. I suppose if you don't know, you don't know. You got 2 of these folks are dead, and one of them who showed up at the hospital. So obviously that guy didn't call 911, was probably hoping to not have to answer questions. Maybe he is not cooperating with the investigation. But usually by now you'd have a little bit more information about what they're dealing with, at least whether or not they're still looking for people. So the fact that they have not indicated that suggests to me that maybe they don't know everything that they have in front of them in terms of their investigation. But we'll wait for an update on the sheriff's office. Because it happened in the park, that's why you have the sheriff's office. Their jurisdiction is Milwaukee County Parks.
And they're generally a little bit more tight-lipped.
Yeah, I guess, right? We don't hear from them as often. Their public information officer has shared multiple times about what's gone on here, but expect to hear from him once again today when they have a better idea of what they're dealing with, if they know. So that is everything we know about that one at 8:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tax tips are up next. They're brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net for a free consultation. And we'll hear from Debbie right here.
Yeah, northbound 894 at Beloit Road. We got a crash off on the right shoulder. And then we've also got another crash on the off-ramp to National Avenue. That ramp, by the way, is closed right now because of it. So we've got backups through the hail pretty much in all directions. So on the Rock Freeway, you're slowing down from Highway 100 on in. And then on westbound 894, slowing from Forest Home. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way to 27th. The westbound side's heavy from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and northbound 43 heavy from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get garnished, or a lien put on your house so that you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
$8:23 Wisconsin's morning news. Got ourselves a good old-fashioned happening today.
Happening today
That's right.
on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So today we will hear from the airport again.
No.
Airport's going to talk spring break today. What would you like to learn about the spring break?
You'd be interested to know that a lot of folks want to get the hell out of here and go somewhere cool over spring break.
So,
is that what the news conference is today?
You actually hit it right on the head last time, which I was very surprised that you called this one. But they're going to highlight two things. All right, so I'm going to read it verbatim. I'm going to bring it up here. Media invited to attend MKE's update on spring break flight projections. So here's what
okay. Yeah, you're not interested in that. Next.
And helpful parking tips to help travelers prepare for their trip.
Oh, well, there is that.
Because you said you've had trouble finding spots before.
Well, I just know that this has increasingly become a thing as we're like back full force to travel and looking, coming once again closer to record numbers out of Milwaukee Mitchell. I know they struggle with having enough available parking spots for everybody who wants to drive down there and park.
Right,
so
right.
what you don't want is, it's an hour and 7 minutes before your flight boards and
you're busy
you're driving the minivan around and around and around. Like,
hour and 7, that's plenty of time. You got
should be. Man, my family's still locked in Dad, we're going to be late. Dad, we're going to be late. I'm like, we are not going to be late.
Really? That doesn't sound like you. I would have guessed you to be the one that's, let's go.
You would think that. But for whatever reason, no. And more often than not, I would say we drive to the airport and park. Because it's still, especially if you use one of the outlots, it's still pretty economical.
Agreed.
When you compare it to the price of, if it's an Uber or a Lyft or a cab or whatever else.
Right.
If you can get a buddy, okay. But then you're counting on that buddy to pick you up. And that's not always great.
So do you think they'll take any other questions today?
What other questions would you like to
I don't
ask
know.
at the airport today?
I mean,
we
they-
already showed you the new garage we're building, or no, it was a processing facility.
Yes.
Right, the cargo facility.
And it was the shovel breaking.
Yes, we had a
on the
groundbreaking.
shovel
Yeah, we
breaking.
already invited you. We
Yeah.
had silver shovels and everything. Didn't see you there, Mr. Bilstad from WTMJ. Did you
I'd
have
love
more
to-
questions on
well,
that?
Maybe. I'd love to learn a little bit more about their concourse. You know, they had a big push how they need more federal funding for their concourse rebuilding that they have sitting there, not being utilized as much. So, okay, so what about the federal funding? Where's that going? Do we still have it? Is there concerns there? Are we trying to get that federal funding? What are we doing for that?
There is that one. So if like you're coming into the airport and you're facing like when you just walk in,
You're
the information
facing
booth.
due east? Is that straight east you're
think,
walking?
yes, I think you're right on that. So like you have D, which used to be the old Midwest one, right?
Right.
And then to your left then would be C, and that's a lot of Southwest and maybe some
Yes.
Delta in there.
Mhm.
It was Delta the D. Either way. But the one to your right, ain't nobody go down there anymore.
So that's
what they want to rebuild,
Yeah,
right?
And there was a big news conference last year about how, stalled terminal building and all that kind of stuff. Hey, we need some more federal funding for this, pushing for some more money. Okay, so given where we are right now with how the White House is handling federal funds, how does that look right now? Where are we at with that?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
That's a question I would ask.
Okay, good. That's a good question for the news conference today. What else?
Air
Anything
traffic
else?
controllers. How are we doing with the air traffic
How are we
controllers?
doing with that,
Everything?
right? Everything good?
Feeling good already? Maybe that's not, maybe that's not Dranzik's, directly his responsibility, the executive director there, but it's got to be on the radar, right? No pun intended.
On the radar, you know what I mean? Right. Ask him if it's on. I want you to go to this and I want you to ask him that question in that way. Is this on your radar? Pun
Then
intended.
I'll swing by the TSA and ask them about their, the 311 plan or whatever it is for making sure you have a clear baggie for your liquids before you travel.
Okay, but the reason for the news conference today is to talk about spring break travel.
Yeah,
and a
spring
lot of
break
folks.
and getting ready for it and making sure you know where to park.
Very well. 8:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, this is Steve Scavini from the WTMJ Home Improvement Showcase presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our guest from Yutka Fence, Brett Yutka. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me about Yutka Fence.
We started in 1968. We're second generation. So my dad, Paul, started the company, and I grew up helping him. So since ninth grade, I've been working in it, which is a little over 30-some years here. We focus, he kind of taught me honesty, hard work, and kind of our purpose of how we do everything is we want to be a trusted contractor.
What are some of the projects that you work on for people? When you say fence, it can mean a lot of different things. What are some of the things you work on?
We do a lot of like mid to large size residential fencing is our kind of our niche. We do a little commercial. So most of our stuff is going to somebody's house and fencing in their entire yard for privacy, for pets. A lot of people have pools. We'll do that. We do vinyl, aluminum, wood, chain link. Those are our most common that we work with.
Brett, where are some of the locations around southeastern Wisconsin that you guys serve?
We go about an hour from our office. So we're located in Kenosha, and so we go well north of Milwaukee, out past Waukesha, west an hour. We even go down into Illinois. We go quite a ways.
Before we let you get out of here, the best way to contact Yutka Fence is?
You could call us, 262-859-3226. And I would say when you call, we have a promotion that we'll offer to WTMJ listeners. So if you can mention the Home Improvement Showcase when you call for the estimate, that would be give you a 10% discount on the fence if you can mention that at the estimate.
I love that. Brett Yutka from Yutka Fence, part of the WTMJ Home Improvement Showcase presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
Just about 8:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 10th, our top story, moments away from the opening bell on Wall Street.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A deadly weekend at a Milwaukee park.
I'm I'm Debbie Lazaga. We're still dealing with a couple of accidents on the bypass heading northbound. One at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. The other one is on the National Avenue off-ramp, which happens to be closed because of it. So delay is pretty much solid all the way back through the hail in all directions. Eastbound 94 heavy from 76th Street through to about 35th. The westbound side heavy from 20th all the way to Metro Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny and a high of 65 degrees today.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Market uncertainty once again. The Dow dropping 500 points at the opening bell as investors weigh the consequences of the Trump tariffs. And as the president admits, the U.S. is in a transition period as the effect of those tariffs takes hold. House Speaker Mike Johnson trying to get a budget passed by Friday to avoid a partial government shutdown. He will need every Republican vote because the Democrats are not on board, says ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill.
House Democrats have said that they are going to vote no. They've advised their members to vote no. They say that this government funding package doesn't do anything to protect entitlement programs, specifically Medicaid, which they say is on the hook for serious cuts in this Trump administration and in this new House Republican budget blueprint.
House Republicans can pass this on their own, but they would need at least some Democratic support in the Senate for it to advance. An oil tanker has collided with a cargo ship off the eastern coast of England. Lifeboats and rescue helicopters on the scene. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, news about your money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. You heard Sherry mention right off the top, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is falling. So the opening bell on Wall Street just moments ago, Dow is down about 450 points so far, more than 1%. S&P 500 at 56.87. That's falling close to 1.5%. And the NASDAQ is down already almost 2%, more than 350 points to 17,843. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
2 people are dead, 1 person recovering after a shooting at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. This happened Sunday. 19-year-old man died at a hospital from his injuries. A second 19-year-old man later showed up at the hospital and is expected to survive. And then in another area of the city following the shooting, a 26-year-old was found dead in a vehicle, likely injured in that same incident, the sheriff's office believes. Now, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office says that investigation remains fluid and ongoing this morning.
Still talking with authorities about identifying a body that was recovered from Lake Michigan over the weekend. Kenosha police responded to Eichelman Park Sunday afternoon. Body turned over now to the Kenosha County Medical Examiner's Office. The park has since reopened, but again, still waiting on identification of the person who was found.
In Racine, a high-speed crash injures a felon and 5 teenagers. Driver speeding 90 miles per hour hit another car near 16th and Taylor early Sunday. The driver of the car that was hit is a 17-year-old girl. She's now at Children's Hospital fighting life-threatening injuries. 4 other teenagers in that same car are expected to survive but were injured. As far as the driver that hit them, Salvador Coronado is now, according to court records, serving parole for multiple charges stemming from a 2021 incident.
A traveler from Maryland has health officials scrambling today after testing positive for measles upon returning home. News Nation's Xavier Walton.
Health officials are looking for anyone who came in contact with that person who tested positive for the measles out of the Dulles airport. Should mention, officials say that person was not connected to the outbreak coming from Texas or New Mexico. Still, when you talk about measles, one of the most highly contagious viruses in the world. So far, there are more than 220 cases of measles confirmed in more than a dozen states.
In addition to the Maryland case, Florida health officials say a high school student is tested positive for measles.
The agency overseen by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is offering buyouts of sorts if people decide to leave their jobs.
Federal workers at the Health and Human Services Department have until the end of the work week to figure out if they'll leave their jobs. If they do, they'll get as much as a $25,000 payment as part of President Trump's government cuts. Workers cannot start opting in until today and have until 5 p.m. on Friday to submit a response for the so-called voluntary separation offer. It was sent in an email to many of the 80,000 HHS workers, which includes those at the CDC, NIH, and FDA. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Lead agency overseen by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. offering those buyouts, and so we'll keep an eye on that story through the week. Traffic is sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. We put cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Tariffs and the threat of their implementation have become a central part of the United States trade and foreign policy. What are tariffs? How are they implemented? And what sectors of the economy could benefit if they're put in place? Join me and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano, Chief Economist Brian Jacobson on March 11th at 1 p.m. for their informative webinar. Learn how your portfolio and your financial plan might be impacted and affected by tariffs. Visit the Annex Wealth Management webinar page at WTMJ.com.
Nestled in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest lies the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. Journey through 90 years of history in the timbered stone structure. It's gorgeous. And when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. An amazing deal at an amazing place. Choice steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, a big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster, any entree, your second dinner's free. The Fox and Hounds desserts, and I love those, and huge ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons on their bourbon list, over 100 fine wines, 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, a Top Choice Award winner for fine dining and most romantic restaurant. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half your dinners are free. I love this place. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
8:37 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This is a story both happening today and also not happening today.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Happening today, students and staff at Trowbridge School in Milwaukee will start another week at an alternate site because not happening today, Trowbridge being safe enough for them to return. MPS promising another update midweek. Did you look up what Eric just asked? What does Trowbridge mean? It has to mean something.
So,
it's like some sort of bridge.
I mean,
right?
The origin is British, meaning bridge by the tree.
Yeah. It's probably some bridge over the KK River or whatever.
So it's not named after, like, Robert Trowbridge.
Admiral Trowbridge?
Or the Trowbridge family.
Distinction?
You know, Bob and Emily Trowbridge.
It could be. I thought they were saying Troll Bridge. No. Anyway, of serious note, Milwaukee Public Schools reporting, quote, significant progress on addressing these lead hazards at the school. But MPS and Health Department officials announced Friday, still not good enough. They are supposed to be back at Trowbridge, which is in Bayview today, for another round of deep cleaning, particularly several areas that continue to be problematic. Earliest potential return date for these hundreds of students, 40-some staff who are now going to school downtown, would be Friday. This weekend, also letting families know there's a lead screening clinic for Milwaukee families. You can take the kids to Bradley Tech High School, 16th Street Community Health, Children's Wisconsin, Milwaukee Health Department, all working together to provide these screenings. That'll be Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Bradley Tech. And again, an update expected not before midweek on the reopening of Trowbridge. The problem is you got all these buildings, and it's residential or commercial, schools, what have you. It was pretty standard to have lead in paint up until almost the 1970s or thereabouts. That's fine. Well, why didn't everybody have lead poisoning before? Well, if you properly maintain that lead paint, the dust isn't going to get into the air. What happens is it deteriorates, it chips off, right. And then the chipping, things disintegrate, the dust gets into the air, kids breathe the dust. That's a problem. You also have in many older Milwaukee homes, if kids like eat the paint chips, somehow you have to ingest the lead. You can't get lead poisoning just from looking at it. The problem is you have these old schools, it starts to deteriorate, they're not well maintained, and then it gets in the air and the kids end up breathing the air and end up with lead poisoning just because they went to school. So Trowbridge was the worst off of several locations within MPS.
So later this week, we have the start of our new superintendent too, right? Technically, Brenda Casellas is supposed to start March 15th.
Which is a Saturday.
Saturday. But yeah, they're starting earlier than anticipated. Get in front of a bunch of this because there's also the SRO training that begins today as well.
And that mid-month deadline also for SROs, I believe the court date was set for the 15th or for the 17th for MPS and the city to be back in court in case they didn't follow through and get those cops back in the schools. A couple of things that they need to demonstrate that they have done since the judge's last order. So a lot of things happening within the city and with MPS this week. Again, that clinic for families who are concerned about lead poisoning in their children is coming up on Saturday at Bradley Tech, right? And we should find out midweek whether or not they can go back to Trowbridge anytime soon. 8:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's get a look at the roads here at 20 to 9. Deb.
Okay, northbound on 894, still dealing with a couple of accidents. One having the National Avenue off-ramp closed, by the way, from northbound 894, so heads up with that. The other accident is at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. We got southbound 41 and 43, both of these looking pretty good. Northbound 43, though, different story. Slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Westbound 94, 16th Street is going to be slow all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is backed up from just about 70th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
During the Transfiguration of Jesus, Peter said that they should set up 3 tents on the mountain. Peter wanted to stay in that moment. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. We also can get stuck focusing on the wrong things we don't want to change. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. With hope, we see that we can change. As we begin this Lent, let us each use our gifts and talents to show the world that change and hope are possible in Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
Not so fun fact here for you. Recent studies show that only 40% of managers have annual check-ins with their direct reports, which is super not good, especially when today's younger workers, they're telling us they crave development and growth. LAK Group can help you. They have a new tool that's called Coaching on Demand. It's a cutting-edge platform that connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches, and it seamlessly integrates AI into their development journey, and it's all done on their schedule. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. That's transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes and is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
Where do you fall? Are you like the Gen Zers, or are
what
you...
started as a grass fire behind...
Ooh, I don't know where that came from. But no. So where do you fall when it comes to alcohol? Baby boomers are said to be baby boozers.
Yo, I get a cold beverage. I need
hitting retirement, having savings to spend, enjoying a little bit of life, if you will, as it were.
I'd have a couple then.
Yeah. It also it was kind of the sign of the times, wasn't it, for a long time? Across the country, a little bit. That baby boomers, right? They lit it up, if you will. So it's not quite like that.
So literally lit it up. We're talking about drinking.
So So,
So
when
what,
it
they're
comes,
still drinking and
so
everybody
they're
else
still
isn't?
drinking, but it sounds like the younger you get, the less people are, especially Gen Zers. Gen Zers are drinking less all the time, and there's a lot of different reasons as to why that might be. Gen Zers drinking less than young people in past generations, about 20% less alcohol per capita than millennials did at their age. And of course, Gen Xers knew how to dabble in the alcohol. And of course, we have our baby boomers. So why is that? Why would it be that the Gen Zers are drinking far less than the generation before them?
They got other. They're doing other stuff.
So, according to this, the shift away from alcohol stems in part from a heightened awareness of the risks that come with drinking, from poor decision making to addiction to negative health impacts. Young people, quote, are actually learning that alcohol is toxic to humans, says Charles Smith, an addiction specialist at the American Addiction Center's Recovery First Treatment Center in Florida.
I'll buy that like halfway, right?
I was going to say, I don't know.
I think this generation is a little more health. I never thought about my health as a kid. About my health in any way.
Right. Immortal.
Like if anyone had come and said, you know, like my dad always, what's for dessert? Have a piece of fruit. You know, like, I don't eat fruit. You want to eat your, like, it never occurred to you as a teen into or college worried about your health.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. But I think generationally, I don't know, maybe it's because we raised them, but I would say that Zs are at least health conscious. They may not follow through all the time, but they are at least aware of, you got to take care of yourself.
Over time, drinking alcohol can lead to the development of numerous health problems like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, memory problems, et cetera, et cetera. But why would baby boomers be so lush then? Because obviously baby boomers now, especially with the tech that we have, want to live longer, want to spend more time with their grandkids, their great-grandkids. So why would they be sloshing it up?
I don't know. We've driven them to this. This is what we've done to our parents.
I don't know if I buy that Gen Zers are that interested in their health. I feel like Gen Zers are just have other things going on, like just staring at their phone. And I mean that sincerely, not to be snarky, but
replaced one addiction with another.
Yes.
Or one dopamine producer. Or
so it's not necessarily that they don't want to drink because, it's not good for you. It's just they don't really have the desire or need to drink because they're feeling just good getting their fixes with other things, including staring at your phone, which, by the way, is an addiction.
Staring at the phone would drive you to drink.
Because of what you're consuming and how it makes you feel?
Right. I would say, too, just based on what, I don't know, I hear anecdotally from my kids, from my teenage kids.
It's also
about
expensive to drink, but go ahead.
Yeah, and the party scene, the quote unquote party scene is a little bit different. I would suggest that it's probably smaller than when we were in high school. Not that there aren't still parties, not that there isn't still drinking, but the extent to which maybe less. I don't know.
So the bonfires with all the people at the house, at the Harris's house, having a good time.
Everybody knows where that is.
That doesn't happen as often.
There were
as
a few houses. You knew which kids, right?
Maybe.
I'm getting a couple of texts on this, actually. Peter writes in, I'm a Wisconsin native baby boomer who my whole life haven't been drinking very much, often months and months without anything alcoholic. Yet my adult kids in their 30s, while not lushes, have always had more to drink than me.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Hang on. We also played outside all the time.
See, that's interesting. I know that there's that belief, too, that kids just sit on their phones and play, do video games and stuff. But there's a lot. Like, youth sports is crazy. Like, off the charts crazy. So there are kids doing that type of thing. There are kids outside running around. You and I, oddly, this was not done intentionally, but you and I have both individually decided, but then kind of have talked about it openly with each other, have pulled back on our alcohol consumption over the past, 2 months, 3 months?
Well, we both kind of did a damp January, which was, for those folks who heard the term dry January, like quit alcohol, I won't have a drop all January.
Right.
Well, I had some stuff I was doing.
Yeah, we knew that
be
there'd be gatherings and different things where... Yeah, so we
and not
both
that you couldn't, but it was like, no, I intend to have a couple cocktails at this or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I did was basically cut it out during the week for the most part.
Me too.
so I wouldn't have a drink after dinner. Or you sit down and you're watching the Bucks game tonight, and it's like, oh, well, and Bucks don't play tonight. Don't text me. I got it. But, you sit down and watch a ball game or whatever, and, instead of having a cocktail or having a beer, just, I don't know, don't.
Right. And it's worked. But for me, it's actually bled into the weekends, too, where there have been weekends where I've been able to go through it.
Well, because now it's like, do I really want to now?
Yeah,
it's actually a choice.
And it's almost kind of disappointing. Like when you have one, you're like,
when you crack that beer, you're expecting it to be like, been waiting for you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Erik.
Hello,
Vince. Welcome.
Come to Daddy.
And it's not. It's kind of like, probably could have gone without it and had another day on the belt.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's been my experience too. I'm a whiskey guy, and so I figured when you get to Friday and you take that sip, you're like, yeah, okay, not as much. Why would that be?
Oh, there's a million reasons why that.
Why? Well, shouldn't you want it even more? And it'd be like, this is really great, or was it just never that great?
Yes, the latter.
Well, I would suggest, and I think this was alarming for you as well, this new push about the connections with alcohol and cancer or various other health things. Like, again, people can tell you till you're blue, well, it's not good for you. Okay, but to have actual studies connecting excessive drinking.
Right. Well, look at cigarettes.
Okay, right.
Remember cigarettes, how when that became blatantly obvious and when they started putting the Surgeon General's warning on there and doing all of that, and then, of course, taxing the heck out of it and making it unavailable inside public places to smoke, that obviously dramatically affected its consumption. And there's been discussion of doing the same thing with alcohol, of not making it alcohol-free inside places where you can buy alcohol, but in the sense of warning to the effects of hey, no, this is really bad for you. Because I don't know if anyone ever not some people did, but I think many Americans didn't necessarily realize, other than it can make you hungover or make you do something really stupid when impaired. You didn't realize the health effects.
Long-term.
Yes,
right.
Long-term health effects.
I would suggest this is almost unrelated, but one more text.
Okay.
How long does whiskey last? Was going through my cupboards, found a bottle, and I didn't drink. It should have been in there about 3 years. It wasn't a high-end bottle, according to this texter. He wants to know if you should just dump it. I think whiskey, you're okay.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, why don't you get started? It's almost 9 o'clock, and then report back to us.
Yes.
8:52.
Please stick it in the fridge,
On Wisconsin's I mean, there are some whiskeys, right, there, or a scotch that's like 10,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah, like Pappy Van Winkle. And
but this guy said it was a bottle of Seagram's, thinks he might have bought it for a recipe. Seagram's, you're not going to want to age 100 years, I promise
really.
you that.
I mean,
you just want to not gamble on that one.
You know what? Right.
Well, I probably won't kill you. I mean,
no.
It's alcohol. Isn't it automatically antibacterial?
All right, I definitely want to hear back from this person. Take a pull off of that and let me know.
I'm sure there's older Seagrams around.
That's true. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what we got. We got a couple of accidents on northbound 894, yes, at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. Another one on the National Avenue off-ramp just got cleared out of the way. So that means that off-ramp has now finally been able to be reopened. Still have delays, though, coming out of the Hale all the way up to National. Southbound on the Rock Freeway, just past Racine Avenue, we've got a crash. Looks like it is off on the left shoulder in the median area, the embankment there. So just be careful if you're going to be heading through there. Northbound 43 backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe, and then westbound 94 slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side slowing from 68th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. A lot of people always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if you're wondering if you're a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First one, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or your hips or your joints or your shoulders? Do you have trouble sleeping or walking? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, the long recovery and uncertainty that comes with it? So when it's done already, do you want to have to keep dealing with that? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because of joint pain? Like walking or golfing or jogging or just even spending time with your kids or your grandkids outside on the boat. Yes, any of those? And yeah, you might want to at least consider QC Kinetics. Call the number 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Set yourself up a free consultation. Get your appointment even on a Saturday if you want. They got a Greenfield spot or one in Mequon. Sit down and talk to them and figure out if it's going to work for you. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Just checking the numbers on Wall Street. You have... Well, we've had all the concerns about the tariffs lately, and then President Trump, in an interview with Fox News on Sunday, mentioned a recession is not out of the question. How'd Wall Street like that this morning? Not so good. You got the latest numbers up, or you want me to grab them?
Yes. So as of now, latest are the Dow's down 320, the Nasdaq's down 436, and the S&P's down 88. So the Nasdaq's down 2.4, so nearly 2.5%.
You mentioned some of these automatic triggers that can halt trading.
Right.
We're quite a ways away from that. So I'm just looking here. 7% drop from the prior day's closing price in the S&P 500 would trigger a 15-minute halt. 13% triggers here and there. So we're a ways away from trading actually being halted as a result. But either way, story to watch as the day progresses. It is 8:58, WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi up next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce starts planning for the next version of its Region of Choice Diversity Hiring and Promotion Initiative. 130 employers voluntarily participated in the first 5-year program. Tiger Aesthetics Medical announces a $50 million plant expansion in Franklin for its